ready to go?
Hello, everybody. Hello. I want to thank everybody for being here. And before I get to my big idea, I want to talk about, just for a second, we had another mass shooting in America yesterday. And these cannot just go on in our country. We used to be a nation that when 4 girls were killed in a bombing in Birmingham, we changed laws. When women were killed in the shirtwaist factory fire, we changed laws. We are seeing too much death in our country, which reminds us of the most important big idea, which isn't new. Before I get to mine, I want to repeat that because that's why we're here. The best big idea is that the power of the people is greater than the people in power. And when the people are united, they cannot be defeated. And so this kind of gathering, about letting us understand that we are stronger and more powerful when we are together, standing, working, fighting. And this is a time that we got to be a people coming together to move on up, and in this election to make sure that Donald Trump out of the White House moves on out. And so, my campaign, we've got a lot of big policy ideas, but I want to get to the heart of one of the issues that is most threatening to our democracy, which is wealth disparity. We are a nation where too often the destiny of children is defined by the wealth of their families, the kind of schools they go to, the kind of housing they have. We are allowing wealth disparities in this country to grow to gargantuan proportions. Since the 1960s to recent times, we've seen the wealth of the wealthiest Americans be 6 times that of average working Americans. It's exploded to now 12 times that. And not only is this insidious in undermining the success of so many children, so many families, we've seen racial disparities grow over recent decades. To now the average white family has 10 times the wealth of the average black family, being compounded by the racial disparities in generation after generation of overtly racist policies, of terrorist actions like 98 years ago today. In a place they call Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, was bombed and looted by white supremacists, all the way to mass incarceration, which further, through its racial disparities, freezes and expands racial wealth gap. My big idea addresses the wealth inequalities in our country as well as the racial wealth gap in our country by saying a nation that uses hundreds of billions of dollars to transfer wealth to people that already have it through our tax code, it's about time we target the creation of wealth equally for all children in America. And my idea to do that is something called baby bonds, making sure that every child born in America gets an interest-bearing account with $1,000 in it. And then depending on the wealth of your family, you get up to $2,000 placed into that account every single year. For the lowest income kids, that means by the time that you're 18 years old, you can have upwards of $50,000 in an account that can be used to invest in things that create wealth, like going to college or buying a home. In America, paychecks help you get by, but wealth helps you get ahead and create generational wealth and strength. And my legislation already has been reviewed by Columbia University, who said it literally erases for young Americans the racial wealth gap in this country. We are a nation where it should not be survival of the children of the wealthiest. It should be understanding that when wealth is created, people have agency. They can pursue their dreams. That was the idea of America for my father, who didn't have wealth. He was born poor. He used to tell me, son, I was born so poor I couldn't afford to be poor. I was just Po, P-O. I couldn't afford the other 2 letters. But it was a community that brought together their community wealth. A church that gave him the money he needed to enroll in college, that changed the destiny of my family. We need to make sure that every child has the resources they need to live their American dream, to create wealth, to pass something on to their children, to make sure that we take these racial wealth gaps and these growing wealth gaps and wealth inequality in our country and we get rid of it. We can do those things if we stand together and dream bigger dreams. This election is not just about getting one guy out of office. We need to have a bigger aspiration for that. It should be an election where we dream big again in America. Dreams of equality, dreams of opportunity, dreams of health care for all, college for those who want it, dreams that everybody has a pathway to work with dignity and a pathway to make sure that their American dream is truly possible. Thank you, everybody.